common questions people ask us is, what do I do if I'm harassed?
Give me a guide on how I can take street harassers down.
Or the also common, am I making it worse by not saying anything at all?
There's no simple answer, and safety is always a huge concern. Each situation is different, and the fear of escalation is real.
You shouldn't feel bad if you ignore it, put your head down, and walk on. Hell, you shouldn't even feel bad if you eke out a thank you in hopes that it makes them go away.
It shouldn't be on us to change our behavior. We should be able to walk down the street however we damn please.
That said, it totally makes you feel better to take action. In a recent study by Wilfrid Laurier University, they found that people who publicly declare their outrage about sexism were found to have better levels of psychological well-being than those who kept their opinions to themselves.
But there's an important distinction here. You don't have to take action the moment you're harassed to fight street harassment. Action at any time works.
You could tell a friend.
Or your dad.
Start a Hollaback site in your community.
Go to a march or rally against street harassment.
Grab some sidewalk chalk and tell the world what you really think about street harassment.
Go to street harassment training.
Watch more of these videos.
Subscribe to our channel.
And tell your friends. Before I started Hollaback, I was a one-woman street harassment education machine. I tried everything from...
Would you say that to your mama or your sister?
To...
Do you have any idea how that makes me feel?
And nothing worked. I'm pretty sure I didn't convince a single street harasser to stop. And their most common response to my pleas for empathy?
Well, you're ugly anyway.
I wanted something that wouldn't just impact one dude. I wanted something that would impact culture. I wanted
digital storytelling!
Here's how it works. You can share your story anonymously on platforms like Hollaback, Blink Noise Project in India, Harassment in Egypt, and your story does 3 things.
Number 1, we're mapping these stories across district lines for legislators so we can show them this is what's happening in your district.
Here's the experience of over 50% of your constituents. What are you going to do about it? We've got some ideas.
Number 2, we're using these stories for research.
We're using this researcher trick called content analysis to look at the trends, like the role of bystanders, or the long-term impacts of street harassment like anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Number 3, your story makes people care.
Think about it. Bob may not care about street harassment, but Bob totally cares about you. Bob reads your story, and voila! Bob cares a little more about street harassment.
Digital storytelling is good for social movements, but it's also good for you.
Activist researcher Jill Diamond studied Hollaback and critically asked, does online storytelling matter? What she found is that it does this really cool thing called reframing that's key to social movement building. Reframing is when your understanding of an experience shifts as you re-examine it in a different context. For example, in the world we live in now, most people experience street harassment and think to themselves, well, that was crappy.
But once someone's been through a reframing process, they realize, wait, street harassment is a societal issue. This isn't about me, even though it's directed at me, and that feels really crappy. This is about the messed up world we live in.
If you choose to take action in the moment, our best advice, trust your instincts. Stop, look them in the eye, and firmly say, that is inappropriate.
Then keep it moving. You don't want to engage further because you don't know if it might escalate.
So to review, when taking on street harassment, use this quick formula. The way you're feeling that day times the safety of the situation plus your personal history of harassment or assault. Divide that by the way that you might respond after this whole thing goes down, and that equals your response in the moment. Best thing about this formula, no matter how you do the math, and whether you respond in the moment or not, your answer is always right.
You can't touch this.
Wait, why?
Because you didn't ask for it, you don't deserve it, and your response is yours alone.
Got more questions for us? Write them in the comments below, and we'll keep on answering them.
Over and out.
With love and revolution.
If it makes you feel self-conscious,
It's harassment.
if it makes you want to duck into the closest store,
It's harassment.
if it makes you feel special and awesome and hot,
It's a compliment.
get it?
Got it?
Good.
Now guys,